Hello and welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast. As always, we are powered by our friends at Harper's Tree and Stump Removal. They can handle all of your tree trimming, tree removal, or stump removal needs. In addition to that, they can also haul rock and sand. They do driveway work. They can build or repair pond dams and can now do horizontal grindings of large wood debris piles. Give Keith a call at 229-314-2048 or at 229-938-2412. Harper's Tree and Stump Removal is proud to be the premier sponsor of the Integrity Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, covering local sports in the Southwest Georgia area, creating content that is factual, positive, and informative, promoting efforts by athletes, coaches, and sports administrators. Now, here's your host, Tim Estes.
Thank you, and welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast. I'm glad that you have made this a part of your weekly routine. Our viewership continues to grow. For the last 8 weeks in a row, we have had more than 2,000 views, so thank you for that. If you're watching today on Facebook, X, or Instagram, please hit the like and share button. If you are watching today on YouTube, do us a favor and hit the subscribe button. We are attempting to reach the 1,000 subscriber mark, and your help would be greatly appreciated. Our guest today is Coach Darren Alford, the head football coach for the Schley County Wildcats. Coach, I'm looking forward to this. Going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me on, Tim. I always like coming on and talking with y'all.
Coach, you guys had a really good season last year, 12-1, and I know it was disappointing to be eliminated in the semifinals up at Bowden. But if you would, as we get started, let's put a bow on the 2023 season. And I think it's safe, Coach, to say that you guys have sustained long enough now at a really competitive level that Schley County going into this season has got to be considered one of the top programs in Class A Division II.
Yeah, we've had a great run here at Schley County, and like I always say, you have to have good players to do the things that we've done. We've had good players and good coaches, and last year it kind of culminated in a almost like a dream season for us. We had a lot of kids coming back. Kids played hard the whole year. Everything I can't say anything negative about last year. We came up short against Bowden there, but as far as the season's concerned, we were undefeated. Until that last game. We set scoring records with the offense. Defense was one of the top defenses that we've had since we've been there. Great players on both sides of the ball that did great things. I was excited to be a part of that, and I know our community was excited. We have a great community at Schley County, and those guys and ladies and gentlemen, they come out there and they support us every Friday night, and we try to put our best product on that football field for them. And last year definitely was one of the highlights of my career as a coach, being able to coach those guys. Some of the best kids I've ever coached in my life was on that football team.
Darren, you lost several key players to graduation. Many of those guys had the opportunity to go on and play at the college level. Talk to us about those guys that are now playing on the college level and who they were and where they went.
We'll start with Jalewis Solomon. Of course, he was a 4-star athlete here, and he had numerous offers from Power 5 schools throughout the nation. And it was a long recruiting process for him, and he finally settled with South Carolina Gamecocks, and he's doing well out there. I've talked with people that are surrounding him right now, and he seems to be doing really well and competing while he's there. Jay Kanazawa was our quarterback last year. Set every record for quarterback for us. And he's at Berry College right now. He went to early camp. He's there learning the offense and getting better. Daily. I've talked with some people that are watching him, and he's really making some waves up there. So I'm excited for him. And I knew that. He's a great young man, a great kid. I knew he would do well. We also have Wyatt Halstead at Berry. He's going to report at the 1st of August, I think, somewhere in there. He's going to be a offensive lineman at Berry College, and Wyatt was a great player for us. He's one of the strongest players I ever coached in my life, and he'll go up there and he'll work hard. His work ethic is just tremendous, and he'll get in there and he'll work every day and he'll get better, in that program. And I expect those two boys to definitely, be big for Berry College. We also have KV Aldridge, who is going to be going to Reinhardt University. He's reporting here soon. I don't know the exact date, but he's going up to Reinhardt, and he's going to play DB for him up there. And KB's another one of these kids that when he came to me as a ninth grader, and I timed him in a 40, and he runs like a 5.2 40. And over those 4 years, he got better in the weight room. He worked hard, and he ended up running around a 4.6 40, and has great grades and had the opportunity to go and play college football. We also have last but not least, Carson Westbrook. He's at the University of Colorado. I actually talked to Carson today a little bit, and he is excited about the opportunity to be up there. They're going to camp here. He's leaving tonight, I believe, to go back out there, and he's going to be at camp. And Carson is that kind of kid that that it would not surprise me one bit. 5 years from now, to find him sitting somewhere on a team, at the league, doing something, because he's just that kind of kid. He's that kind of kid that you can't tell him no, you can't tell him he can't do anything. He's going to prove you wrong. And I like that a lot, because that's kind of like me. That's kind of how my career has been. A lot of people has told me, you can't do it. Coach Alford and Carson, he reminds me of me in that. He doesn't take no for an answer and just gets out there and works hard.
We are talking with Darren Alford, the head football coach at Schley County High School. Our show today is also brought to you by our friend Marty McDonald at the Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance Agents. They're located at 925 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Americus. You can reach Marty at 928-3686. He would love for you to drop by and see him, Mary Lynn, or any of their staff and discuss your insurance needs. They can even do the famous discount double check to ensure you're receiving all of the savings that are available to you. Thanks again to Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance for sponsoring this segment of the Integrity Sports Podcast. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So, Coach, we have kind of put a bow on 2023. Let's get into this year's squad. I know that a lot of work goes in the spring, big time work in the summer, and now you're kind of getting ready to enter that fall camp season. Tell us a little bit about how this squad has prepared.
Well, I've been telling everyone, that I see has been talking about the program, that this year's team, I challenged them back in January. Our motto, if we have a motto this year, is something to prove. We have something to prove, this group does. I think a lot of people, are thinking that maybe this group won't be as good as what we've had in the past. And I put that out in front of our kids back in January, and I challenged them and said, listen, we need to have the best winter and spring that we've ever had here at this school. And I'm going to be honest with you, in the weight room, we probably had the best that we've had since the 2019 state championship weight training team that we had. These guys have worked hard. They've done everything I've asked them to do. They've been there, which is an important thing. They've been, at every workout. Our younger kids have really bought into what we're trying to do, especially that sophomore class that's coming up. I expect some big things out of those guys. They're young, but they got ability. I'm excited about what the kids have done. We've had a really, really good summer so far. And I'm just really ready for next week where we can put pads on.
Darren, everybody in America, I think, knows Zayden Walker, the University of Georgia commit. Tell us a little bit about him, but at the same time, I want you to talk some about others on your squad that will probably hear their name a lot on Friday night.
Well, most everybody does know who Zayden Walker is. You can just go online and just type his name in, and you can see, what Zayden has done. Zayden's a tremendous talent. He's 6'3", weighs 225 to 30 pounds, just depends. He runs a 4.5 40 regularly. He's that guy, that people are saying, are going to be the next guy that's going to be, or actually he'll be the first guy, if he's the guy that make it to the NFL. Everybody's, saying he's a 5-star guy and he's going to be, at Georgia and after this season's over, we're starting in January and he'll get there and do great things. And Zayden is a great kid. He's humble. He gets his grades. And I was really excited that he decided to go ahead and commit early, because since he's committed, he has really, really been focused, because he had a lot of pressure on him. People don't quite understand what a teenage boy goes through when he's having, almost every head football coach in the nation at the college level, Power 5, calling you, talking to you, coming to see you, and then everybody hitting you up every day. There's a tremendous amount of pressure that goes with that. And I think Zayden has handled that well. He went ahead and committed, and I think since that point, he has really just kind of focused on himself, getting better, getting stronger, getting faster, learning the defense. We're going to move him to the inside linebacker this year. He's going to play that position where Jack Clark played last year, because we do have some young kids that we like that's come up to play on the outside. As far as other kids are concerned, most everybody around here in this area knows Kendall Sims. Kendall's a great athlete. Kendall's going to be doing multiple things for us this year. He's a player that's dynamic. He has speed. He's got wiggle, and if he breaks loose, he's gone. And plus, he's got a lot of football sense. He understands the game of football. You can sit down and you can talk football to that kid, and he knows exactly what's going on. So I expect great things from Kendall on the offensive side, and he's going to be that defender that we're going to play a lot of man coverage with, that he can just shut people down. We can just say, okay, Kendall, you're going to have to get out there and cover their best guy, and we can play some kind of other coverage away from Kendall. We let him play man out there. He's going to be great. I expect him to be an all-state football player this year. He was honorable mention last year. I told him, that you got to step up and do it. Also, we have Brody Smith coming back as a senior.
Yeah.
Brody is another kid that's been with me for 4 years. 4 years in the weight room, extremely strong, extremely driven. He's got a motor that reminds me a lot of Luke Forehand. That kind of motor. Brody's wide open every play. I don't care if it's practice. I don't care if it's in the weight room. I don't care if we're running 40s or agilities. Brody's going to be wide open in everything he does. Brody looks like he's got a little bit more size this year, maybe a little more height. I'm going to really push him hard. I think that he's got the ability to play football at the next level. He's a great student, He's going to also play inside linebacker with us, so I think that he'll be tremendous. People need to really keep an eye on him, because he's going to be a tremendous asset to this football team, not only on defense, but he's also going to play a lot of tight end. We're going to do a lot of tight end stuff this year, and they're going to hear his name on offense too. Gus Harris is a senior 4-year starter lineman. Gus, he's trimmed up a lot this year. He's gotten quicker, so we're going to move him from the right tackle to the left tackle. He's a great player. He's a great student. He does all the things we ask, of him. He's a team player, and when you get team players like him, it helps your whole team. He's going to, be the kind of guy that's going to lead on and off the field with the kids, what they're doing out there. Some newcomers on the offensive side this year. We're going to let Gabe Powell. He's going to step in and be our center this year. They need to keep their eye on him. Gabe's gotten really strong this year in the weight room. We got Hank Arrington also is going to be playing again at the guard. And we got Judah Rayburn at our tackle right there on the right side. These guys are going to be pretty good. We got Andrew Cox plays the line, but he's going to play more nose guard for us this year. So we need to keep our eyes on him also.
Coach, let me interrupt you just a second. You and I had a phone conversation about a week ago, and I could just feel it in your voice. You feel really good about this offensive line.
Yeah, I do. I think we have the ability, which we got to have it. It's something we have to have. I think we have the ability to put it in their hand, to put the ball in a running back's hand, and I think those guys up front are ready to go to work for them. We got 3 or 4 guys behind them that I think can play. So I think we're gonna have a little bit of depth up front, and I am excited about that. I'm excited about what they're gonna do, and the reason I don't have a voice right now is because I'm coaching them, and I've been trying to coach them hard, trying to get them going. Coach Corker does a great job on offense with those guys, getting us in the right positions And I'm having the time of my life. I'll be honest with you right now, just coaching these kids because they listen and they work hard.
Hey, speaking of Coach McCorkle, tell us a little bit about those skill guys that he'll be putting the offense into this year.
Yeah, of course we have Jordan Hudson coming back. You know, he's a 6'5", 6'6", 210 pound, 215, 20. You know, he weighs a lot. And, you know, he's a big kid. He's strong. He can run. You know, he's the kind of guy that we're going to put a lot of stock in him this year. We're going to get the ball to him and see if he can do some things with it. You know, Connor Ryan is going to be that guy that's going to be playing the slot a lot in the same place where Carson was last year.
Yeah.
He's got great hands. You know, he's a very cerebral player. He understands the game. He gets everybody right. He's like a quarterback at receiver. You know, he can get everybody going in the right direction. We're going to also, you know, look at Jeremiah Johnson, sophomore out there to split. He's going to go out there some and play. Cameron Hamsley is, and we've been really excited about Caleb Renfro. He's really come on for us. He's a tall kid. He's almost 6'4". He can run good. He's got great hands, and he's not scared of anything. He'll run through a brick wall if you ask him to. He'll go right across the middle, and he don't care. You know, he's going to make the catch if the ball's there. You know, so I'm excited about him. And in the backfield, Zayden runs. We've already talked about Zayden. You know, he can be. I told Zayden the other day, I said, you're the number one defensive linebacker recruit in the state of Georgia. If you wanted to be, you could be the number one running back recruit in the state of Georgia also. And he said, thanks, Coach. I appreciate that. Which I think, you know, but, you know, then we got Jaden Figueroa. We call him Fig. He's been we went up to a padded camp at Bowden this year and played Bowden up there, and that kid really impressed me. He's got great vision. He's patient in the hole. Those kind of things you really can't teach backs. He has it. You know, either you have it or you don't. Reminds me of Malachi, the way he runs behind his blockers and lets things happen. He's going to be someone that we're going to really look at this year. It's going to be real good. And Amir Nelson. Amir is going to be our number 3 guy back there, and I think Amir can spell some people and be real good at it. If we didn't use Amir so much on defense, he would be a guy that we could play more on offense, you know. And of course, our tight ends are going to be Jonathan Leggett. He's going to also split out for us. Jonathan's got great hands. We've been hitting him all summer long in 7-on-7s, and he's made some really, really good plays for us. He also will be playing tight end and H-back, you know. We're going to let a young kid, Weston Watson, he's going to come up and play some H-back for us. He's put the work in. You know, we're going to give him a shot here early. And then, of course, we got, you know, Brody Smith, who will be really our starter at the tight end. And he's going to play a lot of H-back also. And Brody, 4-year starter, senior, he'll be a leader on this football team and do great things. So we've got some guys on the offensive side I think that we can do some stuff with.
What about at the quarterback position, Darren? Where are you at now?
At quarterback, we got Blake Weldon, and Blake has gotten better and better as the years gone by. His arms getting stronger and stronger. He's committed in the weight room, and he said he's going to get better. He's going to be stronger. He's gained a little weight, so he's looked really good. And, you know, when you're a starting quarterback for the first time, you're going to look really good at times. You're going to look really bad at times. That's just the way it is. That's just the growth of the position. And he's been looking a lot better more than he has been looking bad recently. And what I mean by that is he's progressing in his position the way that we want him to right now. I think he's the kind of kid that can control the offense, can run the offense. He can make some good throws. He can throw the deep out. You know, he's got enough arm to do some things for us also. I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I think he can be a great player this year. I think he can throw for a couple thousand yards, you know, just like we've had quarterbacks in the past years throw for. I think he can be that guy. And then, of course, you know, we got a few things up our sleeve. You know, Coach McCorkle, he's always got an ace in his pocket right there. And, you know, we're gonna look at Kendall a little bit back there and doing some stuff that if y'all remember a few years ago when we had to play Marion 4 or 5 times a year, it seemed like that little quarterback. We got some things. He's well versed in that, Coach McCorkle is, and he's gonna, you know, have some things for that too.
Our show today is also brought to you by One Digital Solutions. They are a steward of business growth and personal development. Their insurance, financial, and HR platforms provide you with a personalized, tech-enabled solution for a contemporary work-life experience. One Digital resolves real problems for your business and your employees. They do that by fusing together customized solutions that address things like employee benefits, human resources, and financial services. It's really everything all in one. It's One Digital. Contact our friend Will Peterson at 229-347-6289. One Digital is proud to sponsor this segment of the Integrity Sports Podcast. Coach Alford, I was looking over your schedule recently, and you guys have put together a really good non-region schedule to get things started. Going to get cranked up on August the 16th down at Seminole County. I noticed where we got Early County coming back, and then, of course, the friend that you and I share, Casey Soliday, down at Irwin County. Talk to us a little bit about what went into that non-region schedule, and then briefly kind of tell us what your feelings are on the region.
Yeah, we're going to start out scrimmaging Lamar, so there's nothing easy about that either. I wanted to scrimmage a team like that. The thing that I did in our non-region schedule, because we also have Hawkinsville in there on that non-region schedule too. Yeah. I wanted to schedule some teams that were physical. I wanted to see where we at with our physicality, because our MO, and I preach it daily in the weight room, is we have to be a physical football team. We've got to be able to play disciplined football and be physical, because we talked a lot about offense today, but Coach Smith is been doing a great job for me on the defensive side of there, putting a good defense together also. And I wanted our defense to go out and have to play against teams that's going to be able to run the ball right at you. That's why I scheduled Bowden as a padded camp this summer. I wanted to see where we were at. But I really thought that, going into the region, there's two trains of thought here, Tim, on this. And some people say when you got a new team coming back that's younger, you might want to schedule light so they can get confidence. I'm not of that mentality. All right. We're not scared of anybody. We're going to go, and we're going to have to play whoever's on the schedule, and we're going to play them as hard as we can. And we're going to give everything we got. If we win 50-0, or if we lose 50-0, we're going to give everything we got. We're going to try to get better, because you don't get better by playing people that are worse than you.
Absolutely.
I remember in the past, early when I got at Schley, we played a lot of teams that were not real good. We got some wins, got some confidence, but there came a time for us to grow up and play with the real guys, and that's what we try to do now. Because Irwin's moved down into Division II, so I wanted to see some of the top competition in Division II, because you never know what you're going to see in the playoffs. Lamar County is a single wing. You never know if you're going to see Clinch County in the playoffs. So we're trying to schedule to not only you take every game one game at a time, but you want to make sure when the second season comes around that you're battle tested and that your kids have seen the best, so it won't be anything new when you walk out there on a Friday night in November and in December.
Coach, you mentioned Coach Smith taking over the defense. So Tim Peavy retired after last school year, and you made the decision to promote Coach Greg Smith as the defensive coordinator. I know you've got some other new defensive staff. Talk to us about everybody that's on your staff and what their responsibilities are.
All right, we'll start with defense then, since we're talking about them. Greg Smith has he was an original guy that came with me when I came in 8 years ago. He came from Chris County to me, and he coached D-line for me for 8 years, excuse me. And he knows the defense. There never was a doubt Greg was ready to be a defensive coordinator 3 or 4 years ago. But we had Coach Peavy, and Coach Peavy is a great guy and he's a great coordinator. And Coach Smith has just sat back and he's waited his time. And there was no doubt, there was no question the day it happened. I knew who I was going. When Coach Peavy retired, I knew what I was going to do that day. I'd already thought about it, and I went to Greg, and Greg, of course, accepted the job. And like I said, he's been 100% all in. He's going to do some new things with the defense that we hadn't done in the past, and he's got a different perspective of the 3-4. And I think we're going to see some nice things. happen with that. We lost Earl Dupree. He went to full-time softball and baseball at the school, but we hired Nathan Hammock as our DB coach, and Nathan is a really, really good coach. He's a man of integrity, and that's one of the number one things whenever I hire somebody. That's the first thing that I look at: what kind of character, what kind of integrity you have. He checked all the boxes when I was talking to him. Knows the game, knows it well. Has been a defensive coordinator before on his own, so he brought a body of knowledge to the defensive side of the football, which is great. I'm excited about him. He's done a great job. Steve Smith is going to be coaching outside linebackers as well as receivers on offense. And Steve is 100% loyal. He gives you everything he's got every day. He keeps everybody laughing on the football field. He is a good guy. I love him. I've been around him for a long time, and I'm excited about him and the things that he does for us. And then we also hired Nick Bentley from the middle school staff to coach D-line. Nick's an ex-Marine. He's got an ex-Marine attitude. He's very organized. He works hard. He does exactly what's asked of him, and he's learning the defense very good right now. I let him go day one. I said, all right, Nick, it's yours. Go coach him. And, he's learned a lot of things in that time. And he's just had twins. He's good. His wife's good. Everybody's good. So he's been out a couple of days, but we're excited to get him back. We got him back today. And, I'm excited about the defensive side of the football. The offensive staff's exactly the same as last year. Richard McCork was offensive coordinator, and we know we got a gem with him. He does a great job. He's a better offensive coordinator than I was. I'm not ashamed to say it. He is, and that's why I hired him. I wouldn't have hired anybody, if I didn't think that. And he is. Steve's working receivers. He's worked receivers for 30 years now, and he knows all about receivers. I'm doing the offensive line, and I love offensive line. It's the best part of the football team to me. That's the closest part of the team. We get real close to those guys, and those guys work hard. And then Coach Clifton Aldridge Jr. is coaching our running backs again. He's been with me for a number of years now, and Coach does a great job with us. And I'm excited for him also getting the basketball job this year because I think he'll do a good job with that.
Absolutely. Coach, our program every week is brought to us by several sponsors. One of them is the Fish House Restaurant. They're located at 224 North Jackson Street. They offer some of the freshest seafood in all of Southwest Georgia. Whether it's fresh fish, shrimp, oysters, or catfish in their seafood center, or a hot meal and a cold drink at the Fish House Restaurant next door, they're a staple for the seafood lover in our area. Go by and see the owner, Mark Tyler, or any of his staff, or you can give them a call at 229-924-5177 and let the Fish House provide a delicious meal for you and your family. The Fish House is proud to sponsor the Integrity Sports Podcast. Coach, as we get ready to wrap this up, you kind of know what we do every week on our last question. We get it. Coaching is a grind, and there's got to be people behind the scenes that lift you up and encourage you. And you and I have been friends for over 30 years. I know your family. Talk to me a little bit about those folks and who they are and what they mean to you.
Yeah. Most everybody knows Jenny. Jenny is my wife, and I'm going to be honest with you. We would not have been as successful at Schley County if she wasn't my wife, because she does so many things behind the scenes that nobody sees, as far as preparing meals for the kids. She'll make brownies for them every week and send them with them. She'll do all kind of things. She gets, pizzas for us throughout the week. If we need something, she'll get it done. And then, of course, not on the football side, she has to deal with me. I like to work. You can't be good without work. Some people don't like, to work the way we have to work, but we do. We work hard every day, and we're going to be prepared. She has to put up with that. So she's at home a lot of times when I'm not here. I can't tell you one time that I hadn't come home and that girl hadn't cooked something for me or done something for me. And God bless me. The Bible says you find a wife, you found a good thing. Well, I found a great thing,
Yeah.
and I was fortunate. I'm very, very blessed for her to be my wife, and, no one else would do for me. She's done great, and she's a rock behind me. I'm not going to act like I'm something big and bad. It's her. Of course, my mama, she's still here, 86 years. She's always listening to you when you're on the radio or wherever you're at, what you're doing. She's always listening. She comes when she can. Sometimes it's hard for her to get out, but she's always there. She's listening. She's my support. She tells me, every time she's going to call me every Saturday morning, talk to me about it and tell me what I did wrong and tell me what I did right. But she's there. And of course, John and Connie Linneman, Jenny, and that's my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. Mr. John my daddy died, 23 years ago. I believe it was 22 years ago now. It's been a while. And since that time, Mr. John's kind of been there for me. You always need somebody that you can, bounce ideas off and things. And he's been the guy for me. And I appreciate everything that he's done for me over the last, 20 so years. And his wife, Miss Connie, she's an angel. She's a saint. There's certain people in the world that are saints, and she's one of them. She will do anything for anybody. And I'm fortunate to have the people around me that I have. My brother Warren, the pastor at our church, and he comes every year and does FCA stuff for us, and I'm excited for him and everything that God's doing in his life. And it's just, I'm blessed. All I can say is I'm blessed. And like I tell the kids, we're not going to do nothing without giving God the glory. He's the one that's going to get the glory for everything, whether we win, whether we lose, no matter what, God's getting the glory. And that's what I want my program to be, is about him. First of all, he's the rock, and he's Savior. I'm thankful for Jesus. And these are the people that are in my life that mean the most to me. And of course, he means more than anything else.
And Coach, you got some great kids, and you and I both know that there's nothing better so far than being a grandparent.
Oh my goodness. I got a bunch of little knuckleheads that run around all the time. And I love it. They're there. I got a board at work that and about 5 years ago, Maddox is my oldest. He drew me something to put on the board. So when they come to the office, they see it. So I've got about 500 things just stapled on my board. There's no room for anything for work because their pictures are sitting up there all the time. And I'll be honest with you, I sit back and, at lunchtime a lot of times, just kick back and look at them and think about all them jokers, my children, Andrew, Lindsay, and Heather, they're always there for me. Their spouses, Andrew is married to Kaylee, Harold, he's Kaylee Alford, of course, now, but she's great, good Christian woman. She's done a lot of great things for Andrew. Lindsay got married to Josh Powell, state patrolman here in our area. He's a great guy. He's a man's man. I like it. I like him. I like to take him out and beat him in golf all the time. But he's a great guy. And of course, Cameron, who's is Heather's. Cameron Culver was a part of our community forever. They're in Atlanta now, and he's a police officer up there. He's about to become a sergeant up there in Sandy Creek. And he's there. These guys, these ladies, and my children, they all support me. They're always there at the games. You see them there, and it's a family affair for us when we get on Friday nights.
This has been our interview with Coach Darren Alford. Darren, when I started this program nearly 2 years ago, the intent was to bring some positive coverage to all of our area schools, but to really talk about student athletes, coaches, and administrators that are doing their job with integrity. We hear a lot of negative all the time. We need some positive. And Darren, I've been around you for a long, long time. You talk a good game, but you back it up in your actions, and we appreciate the way you lead this program and that you carry yourself. And I think 20 years from now, you're going to look back and go, I did the best that I could do. And I think you'll be proud of that. God's certainly proud of that. And we thank you for the leadership that you're providing.
Well, I appreciate that, Tim. I appreciate all that you do. Like you said, you've been a great friend of mine for a number of years, and I appreciate all the support that you've given me in the past and right now too. I do appreciate it.
Coach, we want to wish you the best of luck, and do me a favor. Let's do this again sometime around playoff time, and we'll kind of recap what's happened through the year, and we'll wish you some good luck going into the playoffs. How about that?
Sounds good. I'll be glad to do it.
And again, we want to thank you, our viewers, for making the Integrity Sports Podcast a part of your weekly routine. Let me again ask you to like and share this video, and please go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. Help us to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. For my good friend, Coach Darren Alford, I'm Tim Estes. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody.